All right, guys, this is World War One. Always a fun war to teach. The war to end all wars. I found the soundtrack to the 1917 movie, the new one that just came out. So I thought I'd play it in the background. So we're going to talk about this war. This war is a massive war, and there are four things that start the war. We've been talking about them: militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism. So in militarism, all of a sudden everybody had an arms race. There was this massive military buildup. Nobody felt comfortable. They were fighting for overseas colonies, so everybody was growing their big militaries. So what does that mean? Eventually, when everybody has a big military, all it's going to take is a little thing, a spark, and a minor disagreement is going to turn into an armed conflict. Alliances. Alliances are like friendships. Those friendships and those agreements to protect each other are like a snowball. So when everybody has a partnership, so the two big ones were the Triple Alliance and the Triple Entente. The Triple Alliance, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. Triple, see, 3 countries. And the Triple Entente, 3 countries, Great Britain, France, and Russia, though the United States will join this. The Triple Entente becomes the Allies. The Triple Alliance will become the Central Powers. No one believed another nation would attack each other, so they all agreed to help each other. So it's kind of like a snowball. Once one country goes in, the other one has to come in, the other one has to come in, the other one has to come in. Imperialism, another concept that we've been talking about. Imperialism is rivalry among European nations to control other countries, smaller colony-like countries, for their resources. So if there's a competition, so if France wants to control Southeast Asia, and so does Germany, or so does Japan, you have a competition between countries to control those resources. Imperialism. Each did not want the others to gain power. Nationalism. Think of nationalism like super patriotism, the devotion to one's country, group, or culture. This is not just hang the flag in the backyard. This is die for your country, kill for your country, and it becomes all about who is the most powerful, and that pride in your country becomes something you're willing to fight for. And in smaller senses, it also becomes something that we talk about with ethnic groups trying to break free from the larger empires at the time. All right, so the stats on World War I: 3 different continents, 31 countries, 65 million soldiers fighting in this war, 37 million of them dying, 91,198 die of gas attacks, 6,395 ships lost of the Allies and neutral ships. Then we've got submarine warfare in this one, $186.3 billion in financial losses. So, what causes this whole thing to blow up on us? Imperialism and the Industrial Revolution, definitely. This militarism, particularly in Germany. Nationalism, particularly in Serbia. We're going to talk more about that. And this alliancism, which I don't know why I used alliancism. That's a weird word. But the Triple Entente and the Triple Alliance. So, this rising tension just explodes on us. So some of the strongest national tensions are in this place called the Balkans. So Yugoslavia, that kind of area. Serbia. Serbia is an independent nation. And the Serbian leaders wanted to expand their borders and unite people in Greater Serbia who also spoke Serbian. And the Austria-Hungarians were a powerful nation to the north, empire. They opposed this expansion, and there was a lot of tensions between these two places, between Serbia and Austria-Hungary. So in the midst of all these tensions, Archduke Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary decides to visit Bosnia, which is in which is south of Serbia, the city of Sarajevo. And an assassin named Gavril Princip, he assassinates the Archduke and his wife, and this causes everybody to freak out. He's Serbian, so the Austrian Hungarians declare war on Serbia. Russia supports Serbia, so they join the war. Germany supports Austria-Hungary. Then Germany ends up declaring war on Russia, whose ally is France, so France joins the war. So all of a sudden you get this snowball effect, and fighting begins almost right away in Belgium, which is a neutral country, because Germany is afraid of Russia and France on both sides of it, so decides to attack France first, but they have to go through Belgium. So then that means Great Britain joins because they're mad that Belgium is trod upon because they're not even in the war. So the immediate causes of this war: the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand on June 28th, 1914. It's a motorcade, so you get this, here's the red car, and there's a bomb that goes off down here, so they turn to avoid the bomb, and the guy's right there ready to shoot him. Here's Archduke Franz Ferdinand. So this escalation joins really quick. After the Duke is killed, there's a series of events that change the world. It's just like I told you, it's like a snowball. So you got one declaring, and then you got Russia coming in, then you got Germany coming in, then you got France coming in, and then you got Germany declaring war on France, and then you got Germany invading Belgium, and then UK coming in because of Belgium, and then the Ottoman Empire mobilizes to aid Germany and Austria-Hungary, and then you got Italy joining, and the UK and Russia, and then Bulgaria joins the Ottoman Empire, and then the United States eventually comes in and joins Italy, France, UK, and Russia. It's crazy. So lots of weapons in this war. You got submarines, you got tanks, you got blimps, you got ships, you got long-range artillery, you got airplanes being used, you got poison gas. It's crazy. So what do they want? The Triple Entente. They want to hold back the Germans. They want to prolong the war as long as they can get some better technology. You got the naval blockade going on. All well. On the other side, the Triple Alliance, you've got they want to concentrate all their stuff on the Western Front. That there's two fronts, two lines of battles, one on the west and one on the east. They want to conquer France. They want to avoid a two-front war. They don't want to have to put half their troops on one front and half their troops on another front. And they're going to use unrestricted submarine warfare to move this war along. So the fighting fronts, here you got your two fighting fronts on here, the Western Front, and the Italian Front is part of the Western Front, and the Eastern Front. So you can see they're like the battle lines here. And they, like I said, Germany didn't want to have to split its stuff and do two sides. Countries involved, just in case you're worried. So we eventually go to Ally versus Central Powers. So here are all the Allied countries that get involved in the war. Keeps going. Oh my gosh. Okay, Cuba, Nicaragua. So countries that you never even thought were involved in World War I were actually involved in World War I. And then the Central Power countries doesn't look as bad, but they are big countries and they're powerful ones. And then the countries that only cut off trade, so they consider themselves part of the central countries or the central powers, but they do not physically send troops. Should add up to about 31 countries. All right, so fighting starts in 1914. Germany wants to defeat France, and so that they don't have to worry about splitting their troops, so that they jump quick on France, then they could swing around and fight Russia second. But when Great Britain joins, Germany's pretty much doomed, and it becomes a bloody stalemate. Early battles, battle of frontiers, pitted the German troops against the French and the British. The Germans win. It's a huge battle with lots of dead people. Russia will enter the fighting and attack Russia from the east. Then that means, Russia will enter the fight, attack Germany from the east. That means Germany has to divide its troops. And you have the Russians, though, losing right away at the Battle of Tannenberg. So Germany is distracted from France, and the Allies then try to push in to Germany. So it becomes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Trench warfare, this is where we see trench warfare, where the battles become so stagnated that they dig in. So we start seeing that almost immediately by the end of 1914, the Battle of Marne, which is a river, the River Marne, outside of Paris. And the retreating Germans dig a series of trenches along a different river called the Aisne, and it becomes these huge trench systems. So this is the 1914 battle map. You're going to compare this to the 1915 to 17 battle map. So be aware of that on your quiz. So here's the Western Front without Italy, because Italy will join later. And then this is the Eastern Front. So that is the beginning of World War I. And the next slideshow, called The New Kind of War, is what you want to go to next in order to really understand how the battles just keep going. A couple really great movies. The 1917 movie that just came out is really great. Another great movie is called All Quiet on the Western Front. Sean's been talking about it because Sean and Jesse saw it last year. It's a great movie. Unfortunately, I don't know how I'm going to show it as far as a class is concerned. So we'll see.